For this one, we want to look at something called the Lorenz curve. And with the Lorenz curve, what we're doing is we're wanting to see how equally is the distribution of income. If you are looking at a country that is very wealthy, that doesn't necessarily mean that everybody is very wealthy. Some could be very, very wealthy, and then some don't have much at all. So what we need to do is we need to construct a Lorenz curve. And what I've got here is we've got the economy broken down into quintiles, and that would be in fifths. So if we look at the poorest 20%, okay, so down here what we're looking at is the percentage of families in quintiles, each 20%. These are all 20%. And then this is the percentage of money income for each quintile, okay? So what we need to do first is we need to accumulate this information. So if we look at the poorest fifth earned 3% of all the income earned in this particular country. So the second fifth, next to the bottom, would be 9%. So what we're going to do is we're going to add that to the 3%, so 12%. So this would show this 12% is how much the bottom 40% earn. Okay, so if we add in the middle there, we're going to add this 13 to the 12, we're going to have 25%. Okay, so if we looked at the bottom 60% of this economy, they earn 25% of all income. We add in the next one, which is 25%, so that's 50%. So the bottom 80% of this economy earns about 50% of all income. And then the richest fifth, they earn the last 50%, which brings us to 100. So this last one always has to end up at 100. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to plot this information on the graph. We aren't going to plot this, we're going to plot the cumulative, okay? So here we have 20%, the poorest 20%, so we have 30% of the economy's income goes to this bottom 20%. So let's say that's somewhere right about there. Then we're doing the bottom 40% here, okay? So the bottom 40% would be the 12, okay? So let's say that's somewhere right about there. Then the bottom 60%, okay, so this one will be the 60%. That's 25% of all income earned. And then the bottom the bottom 80% earns 50% of the income, so that'd be somewhere around there. And then the richest fifth, when we add them all, this one always has to be 100 because now we've included everybody, okay? So now if we connect these dots, this is our Lorenz curve, okay? The closer, this line right here is something called the line of equality. If everybody had the exact same income, that would be the Lorenz curve, okay? There's no country that meets this line of equality, but the closer this Lorenz curve is to the line of equality, the more equal is the distribution of income. So the further it is from the line of equality, the more unequal it is. It means the rich are richer and the poor are poorer. Now these numbers that I used up here are pretty representative of the United States right now. So the bottom 20% earns about 3% of all the income earned in this country. And then the second is 9%. So we can see that the rich are getting a good portion of the income. Okay, so the closer this Lorenz curve is to the line of equality, the more equal the distribution of income. The further it is, the less equal is the distribution of income. So when you're creating your own Lorenz curve, make sure that you accumulate these. You do the cumulative percentages over here. You don't just try to plot these, they won't work.